Well, good morning from Norfolk, Nebraska. I just got these beams unloaded, and now we're going to head over to another new core yard to pick up. I don't even know what. Usually I get slinkies out of there, but I think it's just some kind of miscellaneous steel of all kinds. We're going to find out. Sometimes that's the fun. You just don't know what you're going to get. Let me see here. Do I got any boogers? Any hot sauce? One of my videos, my recent ones, I had hot sauce over here, and then I had lint, allergy season. Anyways, we're starting off topic as usual. I wanted to do a quick video, and I talked about this. If you want a video I did a while back about what to look for when you're buying a used truck. Scroll down, and it goes over quite a bit, but I want to key in on something here that's super important with these emissions trucks, in my opinion. I'm going to go as far as to say, don't buy a used truck without an APU. And I'm going to tell you why. If you start, or if you buy a truck, put an APU on it. It's not about fuel savings, and we're going to get to that. Although it will save you fuel, and as expensive as fuel is, that's important. Start scrolling through truck paper and this and that, and start looking at these trucks, and you're going to find people are dumping them at 500,000, or if they got 6, it says recent rebuild. These new trucks with this emissions crap on it, they can't breathe, they're choked down, they run soot back through the motor, and it just kills them, guys. It kills them, and the life expectancy is about half of what it used to be. When I started trucking up until the emissions came out, 1,000,000 miles, no problem. Was no APUs. 1,000,000 miles with idling, and that's what we're going to get to. These new emissions trucks, they just ain't going to do it, guys. Some will. You'll get lucky. You'll get a fluke. But what really kills them is the idling, especially low RPM idling. So if you go through the truck stop, and you'll see, especially company drivers, they just got it idling at 500-600 RPMs. It's killing them. It doesn't even get them warm. That soot is more abrasive when it's colder. It just can't heat it up and get it out of the cylinders, and it just wears the rings out, kills the motor. Bump it up to, 800, 900, 1,000. Yeah, that helps, but the bottom line is these trucks just cannot idle. So, like I said in my previous video, when you go to look at a truck, everybody wants to focus on the mileage. And I'm going to tell you, as far as engines go, that is not what you want to look at. Mileage will tell you more about the chassis, transmission, things like that. But the telltale of the engine is engine hours. I would rather have a truck like this one, which is why I bought this truck. My truck has 800,000 miles, a hair over 805,000. Still going pretty strong, really. Burning a little bit of oil. No blow-by. I think we can get 1,000,000 miles out of it, and that's good. You don't see that a lot on emissions motors. Who knows? Maybe it'll blow up today. But the reason is this truck came with an APU, and it just turned 17,000 hours. That's key. When you start looking at these trucks, you're going to see 500,000 miles and 20 to 25,000 hours. Done. Worn out. Too much idling. Way too much idling on these emissions motors. You could get away with that back in the day, but times have changed, my friends. So, what's the shelf life on one of these motors? Well, it varies a little bit, but when you hit 25,000 hours, you're coming up on a rebuild real quick. You might stretch it to 30 or 35, but mostly 25,000 hours is where you're going to have to rebuild these emissions motors. Maybe even sooner if they've been low RPM idled a lot. So if you got low miles, when you see a truck with 350,000 miles or something, and for whatever reason it's got 20,000 hours, I'd get away from it. You think you're getting it's got low mileage, so what? I'd rather have a truck with 600,000 miles and less hours. Running down the highway at full temperature, That's what these things are designed to do. They can clean themselves out fairly good, all things considered. Um, but sitting around the truck stop, sitting around idling, just not good. So I would get an APU. I would look for a truck with an APU that's taking that idle time for you. And if you're going to buy a truck, unless you only plan to keep it 5 years, which is why you're not going to see sometimes only 3 years. You see a lot of these mega carriers, they keep their trucks 3 years and turn them. There's a reason for that. The depreciation write-off for taxes is key for them. So they're not going to put an APU on the truck. They don't give a crap. Really, it's a wash. They may save enough fuel to pay for it. They may not, because, they're $12,000. They're expensive. So they can write the fuel off. They can write the APU off. But some bean counter has said, no, it's not worth the investment for the APU. So they don't do it. So they're gonna dump that truck in 3 years with 400,000 or 500,000 miles on it. They don't care how many hours on it. They're gonna get a new one. That's a truck you want to steer clear of, guys. I don't care how clean or nice or pretty it is. It's a new world out there in trucks. Things have changed a lot since I started in this game. Look for an APU, and if you buy a new truck and you plan on keeping that sucker for 5 or 10 years, put an APU on it. Not only are you going to save fuel, you're going to save an engine rebuild, which is around 25 to 30 grand. You buy that APU 3 times. If you get an APU and don't idle your truck, I think you can still stretch it to 1,000,000 miles, guys. I really do. If you drive good and let the thing warm up and don't beat on it too hard, it'll go that. But sitting around idling, you're going to kill it. You're going to kill it. All right, y'all. My time's up here. I better head out to the other new core and load. Heading over Oroville, Ohio or something, just south of Cleveland. It's a bad thing, man. I got to run all the way across Iowa. What's in Iowa? The Iowa 80 Chrome Shop. I think this truck will automatically exit the freeway. So, if you're all in Iowa 80 later today and they call for an evacuation, disregard. My wife will probably call in a bomb threat or something to try to close the place down. I'm just playing. All right, y'all. That's all I got for this video. We're going to keep it under 10 minutes. So we'll catch you on the next one. God bless you. Bye now.